Hey guys, it's JonTaun from Untitled Brohammer here, and today we're going to be looking at Kadrin and their giant slayers. So as you can see, we got Ungram Iron Fist over here in the middle of some Norglings Ironbreakers. But of course, it wouldn't be JonTaun if he was playing the Dwarfs, so I'm actually going to be fighting Sekarma, who's playing the Dwarfs in this battle. Y'all know me, I hate the Dwarfs. Alright, so I'm going to be playing Bretonnia, and we just wanted to take a... You know, this is just one match, of course, so it's not nearly a do-all-say-all in this situation, but we just wanted to take a quick crack at the Bretonnia versus Dwarf matchup, as it was a very difficult one in, well, before the latest patch, and we wanted to see how it was now that Bretonnia has gotten the slight buff of its regiment's renown, and the Dwarfs have gotten the slight nerf of losing their Tormentor Sword, but they have also got buffed in the way of their Giant Slayers, and I think a few other things which I can't remember at this point because, you know, I don't give a fuck about Dwarfs. Alright, but you know, now that I look at them, they do look so cool. Maybe I should play Dwarves more. Anyway, so let's go over my army real quick. So for my center, I've of course got the Fey Enchantress here with her healing abilities. I got 3 Foot Squires, 4 Man-at-Arms with shields, as well as 3 Peasant Mob. Over on my right flank, I got the Defenders of the Fleur de Lis, which is a Knights Errant group who, wow, look, man, these guys look cool. Which are basically just better Knights Errant. They have silver shields, I didn't notice that till just now. They also have immunity, psychology, and frenzy, so these guys are pretty cool. For 850, 40 melee attack and 36, man, for 850, these guys are just a bargain. Like, if you're bringing some cav to fight infantry, then bring these guys, definitely. Over here, we actually do have 2 groups of Grail Guardians, one on each side. Now, Grail Guardians, you might be saying, JonTaun, why on earth did you bring Grail Guardians in this case? They actually do magic damage, they don't have much armor piercing. And in retrospect, you're right, I shouldn't have brought these guys in this matchup here. But I did, because I thought their tankiness would be really useful here, so we'll see how they do. Besides that, I've also got the Companions of Cornels, the Regiment of Renowned Questing Knights. Looks like they have... Oof. Oh man, they really need to make it so that you can click on units. Looks like they have the Blessing of the Lady, so they have that 20% physical resistance. They also have some fire resistance for some reason. I'm sure there's some lore behind that. And as you can see, 47, 48, these guys are beast in melee. No shield though, and not the most armor. So I have another group of Grail Guardians like I mentioned over here, and another group of Questing Knights. Let's look at their stats real quick. 40, 36, still 80 armor. No Blessing of the Lady, so still pretty good, They are immune to psychology, which I never noticed till now, actually. Alright, so let's get into it here. Sekarma, on the other hand, has 3 miners. He's got the Norglings Ironbreakers in the center here. He's got 3 Dwarf Warriors. He's got 2 units of Quarrelers, a Cannon, Ungram Iron Fist, a Runesmith, the Dragonback Slayers, and he's got 2 units of the new Giant Slayers. So these guys are very interesting. Let's look at their stats real quick. 50 melee attack, 30 melee defense, 43 weapon strength, and they have a 30 bonus versus large, which is pretty insane. So these guys are going to have 80 melee attack against cavalry. So they're basically not going to be missing. None of our melee defenses are nearly that high. Let's look at the melee defense of our Grail Guardians, our most defensive cav here, who have already taken, looks like about 8 losses here from that artillery. They only have 56 melee defense, which is high, but not compared to 80 melee attack and the, well, goddamn, 73 what damage they're going to be hitting with. That's pretty insane. So those guys are just going to be absolute beasts against the cav there, as you expect they would. Let's see how they stack up against the Dragonback Slayers here. Looks like the Dragonback Slayers, I would say, are overall better if you're not fighting a faction that's going to have a lot of armor piercing. So these guys are probably a lot better. You wouldn't want to bring these guys ever against Wood Elves or something like that, but they can be pretty useful against all other factions that aren't archer heavy but are infantry heavy. So say against Chaos, these guys might be pretty dang good. Alright, so let's get into it here. As you can see, I'm just advancing here. He's shooting at my Grail Guardians over here, and I'm just going to be advancing and trying to get in on these miners. So I got my Fleur de Lis going all the way around the side here, staying out of cannon range, trying to reduce that cannon fire as much as I can. As you can see, he's firing at my Companions of Cornels, and man, those cannon shots. Man, how many cav did he take out in that one? 39. He took us out by, and each volley's killing about 6 models, so that's pretty great. Thankfully for me, it is a short-range map, so I'll be able to get in here pretty quick. So as you can see, I'm sending these guys in through the front, take care of these miners. That's just going to give his Nurglings and his Coilers more time to fire. What I need to be doing here is threading the needle and getting into his backline immediately, but I'm too concentrated on microwing these calves. So now, as you can see, I'm charging these defenders of the Fleur de Lis right into these giant slayers, and you'll see why I do that in a second here. On the other hand, I'm charging these dwarf warriors head on with the companions of Cornels and these Grail Guardians. Now, this strategy, y'all saw me use it against the High Elves in the game recently. The strategy doesn't work so well against the dwarves because of their high mass, and because a lot of their units have charge defense against large, even these lowly dwarf warriors. So 450 for a unit that with charge defense against large is pretty dope. Now, y'all saw that I just charged these dwarf warriors, giant slayers, and took no damage. So the strategy here is use your lance formation to get that acceleration, charge them while they're all getting up, get the hell out of there. That's what I was using in the High Elf game. That's what you gotta do with that's the usefulness of the lance formation there. And Bretonnia with their lance formation can do it much better than any other faction. But as you can see, I'm gonna charge right into these Dragonback Slayers. And if I stay in melee for any prolonged period of time, I'm just gonna start taking a ton of damage. So as you can see, before my charge even finishes it, I've already taken about 25% damage, and now we're caught on a couple of these guys. As you can see, I'm going to be pulling out here, but he did so much damage so fast, I'm already dead. And perhaps it wasn't the best option. At the very least, I sent my least expensive cav unit into all these guys. I mean, I had to distract them somehow. It was either get them intermixed in the front line so I couldn't do any charges without being done a lot of anti-large damage, or just try to bait them away with the unit. Now, I'll admit, when sending these guys in, I thought they'd be fast enough to hit them and then get away with not too much damage, but boy was I wrong about that. They did a ton of damage. As you can see, I came in here and did a charge on these dwarf warriors and then straight into the back of these miners, taking care of these guys. Now we're going to be pushing forward and into those slayers. The miners over here are holding pretty well, but you know, they aren't going to last all too long. We're just cycle charging, keep on moving, keep on moving. That's the whole strategy of this, but that's, like I said earlier, it's not really working against the dwarves because they just have such high mass. I just can't pull through the troops like I can pull through other factions' troops. So here come these two cavalry units coming in a little bit late, gonna charge right into these Nurglings Ironbreakers. As you can see, these guys aren't even formed up completely, but I'm gonna charge right into them, and the charge is not gonna do anything, and we can't get through them because the plan was charge through these guys with the lance formation, you know, punch through, hit these guys, come around, hit these guys, break them, then have my foot squires come and take on the Dragonback Slayers, but it's not working against the dwarves because they just have too much mass. So this is my usual strategy when it comes to Bretonnia, but it does not look to be a great one when fighting the dwarves here. So as you can see here, I'm cycling all my cavalry in and out. They just take so much damage so fast from these giant slayers. They are a real boon to the dwarf roster there. And because they're armor piercing, my foot squires, the only thing that Bretonnia has to deal with slayers besides archers, aren't going to be able to do anything. So what I really need to do in this matchup was also bring archers, I think. Alright, so as you can see, we're just still cycle charging around, doing as much damage as we can. Even the dwarf warriors are being too sturdy for us here. We just keep on charging, keep on charging. These giant slayers can beat everything on the Bretonnian roster 1-to-1, so it can be a little bit tough here, especially when our foot squires are having such a hard time even get through the fodder infantry of dwarf warriors. As you can see, we're cycle charging all over the place, dropping a nice fat earthblood right here. But let's see how the slayers are doing. Now, we're doing a lot of damage to them. These slayers are pretty low. These slayers are decently low. And these slayers are decently low, but we're just not doing enough damage. We still do have a good Grail Guardian left here, and I'm going to drop a Chalice Potions here. Hopefully that's going to help us out a little bit. Let's get a little bit of that action in here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Damn. That was pretty awesome, I have to admit. But the dwarves do have that magic resistance, and all in all, it didn't end up doing all that much. As you can see, the cavalry are just running around, just trying to break these Dragonback Slayers now. Or not break them, but just constantly cycle charging, because that's all that they can really do. But we are hit by that rune of Wrath and Ruin, which is basically going to condemn these companions of Colonels to death here, because they're just not going to be able to get away from those Dragonback Slayers. Not to mention, it's slowing down some of my cav that's stuck on them, too, so that's doing really good for him. His infantry just absolutely crushes mine. The Fey Enchanters can't stand up to these dwarves in melee combat. And I'm going to get a nice heal off right here, but as you can see, it's not going well for the Grail Guardians here, as the Normalings Ironbreakers defiantly throw blasting charges at their charge. And against the mass of the dwarves, we just can't pull through like we can pull through with other factions. So now that all our infantry support is gone, it's going to be pretty much over. Our horses are going to be dragged down into the muck, and our men are going to be, our noble knights are going to be beheaded by the lowly dwarves. And that's going to be, a loss for the mighty Bretonnians, who would think themselves so high and above the dwarves. More hype puns there for you guys. I know that's what y'all come to expect from the mighty Total Brohammer channel. Good puns. Actually, maybe you expect that more from Jen on occasion. The puns are strong with that one. But anyway, as you can see, we got the Rune Negation here, and the dwarves aren't having the cycle charging. I just can't get in and out easily, and I'm not dealing much damage on the charges because all that charge defense gets large. So definitely not the way to go against dwarves. And as you can see, the Bretonnian peasants are going to give up as soon as they see those knights run away. Alright, so let's look at the breakdown here. So Fey Enchantress only 27 kills. Yeah, my knights just couldn't pull through here. Normally his Ironbreakers 131 kills. Giant Slayers did absolutely fantastic. Lots of good fodder infantry that held well enough. Ungrim Iron Fist, a really good lord. I really like him. He's cheap, good anti-large. All good stuff here. A Silver Chevron Cannon getting 80 kills on such a small map. I like it. Pretty nice there. Alright, so let's go look. After playing this battle, this is how I would probably change that army. Alright, so how would I play the Bretonnians now against the dwarves? And we'll try to take what we learned against when fighting the dwarves in that battle there. So Bretonnian versus dwarves, probably would go with the Fey Enchantress again, just because sniping out a dwarf lord is usually a waste of time. At least I found it to be in my experience. We'll probably drop the regrowth. Dweller's Blow can be good, but I don't know. Based on that battle, my troops were just all in and about, so maybe we just go with the regrowth on this one. Yeah, probably just stick with the regrowth on this one. As for Cagos, we'll buy the Companions of Quenelles, we'll get the Knights of the Lionhearted. So look at these guys are almost Grail Knight status, while being 300 cheaper. I mean, they don't have the perfect vigor, which, by the way, is a huge factor, but they also have fear, so that's also really cool. So they don't have the Blessing of the Lady or perfect vigor, but you know what? They're cheap anti-infantry. They do have an... Oh, no, sorry. They have an anti-large bonus. Huh. Oh, you know what? These are the wrong guys. These are not... I want the Fleur de Lis. That's what we're looking at here. 32 melee attack, 36 melee defense with Frenzy. These guys are definitely worth the price. And with Silver Shields, which you definitely want against the dwarves here. So, these guys, probably 3 more of these guys. And what we're going to need here, I think, is... If I was to fight it again, I'd probably go just a ton of archers here. So 5 archers. Just worry about those Dragonback Slayers. Even if he doesn't bring Dragonback Slayers, he'll probably still have normal Slayers, who do have shields, but let me see here. The regular Slayers' shields aren't even a normal shield, I think. I think it's actually less than 35%. Yeah, it's 30% instead of 35%, so that's not much of a difference, but it'll add up. Probably grab a couple of those, then a couple foot squires here, and then the rest I'd probably just fill out with, just far infantry here. I'd probably bring these guys. Don't think the 4 extra melee defense is going to make all that much a difference, and then probably just a bunch of peasant mob to muck things up. So I'd probably go something more along this route. This could take care of the... What I'm thinking here is we got enough cav that we won't lose too many when coming in on the intake. We got a few armor-piercing foot squires that we can use Favor the Fey on to help them cut through some infantry. We got plenty of fodder here, so 4 peasants and 3-man arms with shields, and we got a ton of archers to deal with the slayers. So maybe something like this could work, and I think I might do this more after each battle, guys, because y'all seem to really like when I go and try to change my build based on the battle. And of course, I'm trying to build my builds as more all-round anti-dwarf builds than just against that specific build anti-dwarf build. But I think something like this might be a little bit more. As you can see, we got full 20 stack here, so there's a lot for the dwarves to deal with, even though about half of it is not really going to be a problem for the dwarves. Now, there are definitely dwarf builds that can beat this, especially if they were, well, if they were to go all regular slayers. There's nothing that army like this could do against that. But you know, without being spammy, I think they definitely have a. Following tournament rules, I think the dwarves would definitely have a much harder time dealing with an army like this. But anyway, guys, that's my opinions on this matchup thus far. Of course, that's only been one match, so, you know, much more to learn in this new patch. Ton of new things, tons of things have changed, and it's a very exciting time to be playing Warhammer 2 multiplayer. So y'all be sure to stay in touch with Total Brohammer for all those multiplayer changes. This is JonTaun for Total Brohammer, signing out.